Hi, everyone. I'm Tanya Hertz. I am the director of the Rec Innovation Lab. I also teach entrepreneurship at San Diego Miramar College and San Diego State University. And today we're going to be talking about podcasting and why you need to create a podcast as a startup founder, why it's so important for you to have legitimacy in your field, to establish yourself as a subject matter expert, to create content for your various social media and other digital marketing channels, and really just to kind of get yourself out there. This happens before you launch. By the time you launch, you should have really thoroughly established yourself online and have a really good online presence. So let's go on to the assignment here and take a look at what you need to do in order to create a podcast. So there are instructions, 1 to 4 part instructions that you should follow in order to create your startup podcast. And the podcast should be based around your idea or your startup. And that doesn't mean that you need to make it entirely about your business or even at all about your business. What that means is that it should be in the industry that you're launching your business. It should be, more importantly, really, it just should be something that resonates with your target market, the people who will be buying from you, so that you can really get your face in front of them, right? And create something that they would like. So it's 4 parts. If you go through, you can see each of the assignments are, or each of the parts of the podcast project are listed here. Starting with the idea log. It's really important when you're doing the idea log, I have it open over here, that you really think through future issues that you might face. Think through any problems that you might have, but really just come up with your idea here. This is where you're really fleshing out all of those ideas that you have and thinking about how best to tell your story, because that's all you're doing with podcasting, right? You're telling a story. So download the idea log, fill out the idea log, and it's a PDF. So there's little boxes that you need to fill out, then upload that again. And from there, you will take what you've created in that idea log and you will create a podcast storyboard. So the storyboard is, it's a lot more fleshing out of that idea, and it helps you to really articulate what you want to do. And it's your script. It's your script without having to write out the words, because nobody wants to spend that long writing out every word of a podcast, and then it would probably seem little contrived. So better to give you an outline of what you're going to be doing. So there are videos that you can watch in here about storyboarding. There are and there at the bottom there are also different tools that you can use. You can use Canva. You can draw it out on a piece of paper. I'm fine with that. But give us a good idea about what we're going to see in this podcast. And you have to use words and pictures. It's okay if you can't draw right. Well, it's not the point, right? It's just to get it all out there, just in one page, a way that we can see everything that you're planning on doing. The third part of your podcast is actually creating that podcast recording. And you're going to use all of the tools that we have for you, that we've given you in terms of your idea log, your storyboard, and your there's also a lot of videos that you can watch that I think are really helpful prior to actually recording that podcast. And I should say this too: don't get trapped in doing the same things over and over again. When you're back in that idea log and you're picking the format, really think about it. Do you want to do an interview? Do you want to do more of an educational podcast? Or are you even going to do a non-fictional storytelling? Or I've even seen some pretty cool examples of podcast theater, of fictional storytelling in a podcast. You can do so many cool things. I've given you examples of different popular podcasts that you can use as sort of a template to say, okay, this is some way that I can approach this different than everybody else, because a lot of people are doing podcasts nowadays. And entrepreneurs, have to have them, right? Okay. So then after you've recorded your podcast, you have to keep a video of it, even though your podcasts traditionally were just audio. Nowadays, virtually all of the popular podcasts have gone over to video as well. And so you have to keep that in mind, that it's a mixed medium form of marketing. And so you have to really be cognizant of, I'm doing video and I'm doing recording. So the audio needs to be good, the video needs to be good. And I tell you how to record that video using Zoom. The free Zoom version is fine. And then how to create a thumbnail and then upload that podcast recording to YouTube. You don't need to make it public. You don't need to share it with the world. But if you want to, that's kind of the next step of this project. We're not going to do it this semester in the class, but if you are going through the incubator, then we show you what to do with it from there. And then in this class, the final part of this project is just give each other feedback, help each other out with your podcasts. Make sure that you're giving comments to at least 2 other of your cohort and your colleagues, and let them know what you thought and how they could maybe improve. Focus on be constructive, be polite, but also make it useful, right? Not just good job, thanks, it's nice, but if you can give some concrete things that people can use feedback that they can use to improve, that's really helpful. All right, that's it for me and for this project. I'm really excited to watch these. Every entrepreneur today needs a podcast. If they, I shouldn't say every entrepreneur, but by and large, if you don't have a podcast, you're probably not getting found very easily. You're wasting an opportunity. So don't waste that opportunity. Get yourself out there and let's see what you have to say and share it with the world. All right, cool. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, everyone.